Hey guys. All right. It's been I think it's like 6 days since I talked to my dad for the first time in a year. And I think yeah, as you guys, if you've seen the videos, it's I knew it would bring out some good pain, good pain, and stuff like that. And I've also had a couple other just situations with people who I dearly love and who have just kind of let me down is the best way I could say it. And the letting me down has been festering in me for a while, for a few days. And finally today, I just had a really good breakdown and just really cried about it because I realized like there was something in me that was like really taking it personal, like super personal and stuff like that. And so anyway, gosh, as hard as these moments are with people, like when you discover that you're you're never going to be able to reconnect with your family really again, or excuse me, or people that you'd hoped would be in your life, for a certain reason or for, you know, us in a certain way aren't going to. It can generate a lot of pain, and so I just thought it would be really good to talk about it. So, because one of the things because what I struggle with feeling, and I think every adult child of a borderline does, is that whole feeling whole, feeling like you are a whole person. And I think what I have to remember is that, a border, is that like is to remember how I grew up, and that growing up with a mother who's an untreated borderline, that means that, you have been innately taught since infancy that, your wholeness as a person is dependent on the people outside of you and not with you. And 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 I mean, gosh, I think we all struggle with that as just people. I think as humans, we all struggle with that to an extent. But we have to remember that borderlines struggle with that to an extreme. Like they have no sense of self. Many times, I know my mom doesn't. She's 100% the martyr, the victim in life. And it's all about, everyone else giving to her because she's the poor, helpless person, and stuff like that. So, and when I don't, then that's when she can rage and do all that other super abusive stuff. So, anyway, so yeah, so I have to remember like when this stuff happens, like it totally trips me up. Whether it's my friends or family or whoever, like it can hit hard, and it can hit like a part of me that obviously is still not healed and needing to be healed. So yeah, so the disappointment, rejection, and etc. that I feel about a situation with someone, it is normal. When it's focused on just the situation. If a friend has promised me something and doesn't come through, if a guy that I'm dating, I'm expecting to, will turn into an actual relationship and it doesn't. Or of course, numerous instances with my mother or my family, and stuff where, I'm expecting them to come through with something. It's normal to feel disappointment and rejection from that. But the thing is that it's about the situation, not about like us personally. What happens is when we take it personal, that's when that's when it goes into codependency attitude. Yay. Yeah. I mean, and and you and I know I've heard that, and hopefully you've taken some time to look up what codependency is and kind of work through that kind of stuff, like I've been and such. Um, because really that whole like codependency attitude, it really does bring a world of hurt, not just to us, but to the people in our lives, because that means that we have unrealistic expectations. Again, it's like our borderline mothers, but maybe not as extreme. Of course, it's not as extreme. Otherwise, we would basically be borderlines. But our struggles are not as, but they're still real. And I think this is where codependency comes out and stuff like that. So, yeah, because when it comes down to it, I mean, I always have to remember that whenever I feel this hole in myself, where I'm feel incomplete because people aren't showing up the way I want them to, like that is my responsibility and nobody else's. No one else's responsibility. No one is meant to or designed to fill us. Only we can fill ourselves. So anyway, so yeah, so I thought I'd just write out to like what were some signs this week that I was totally being codependent in my attitude with people. Um, I feel like right now I should cue like the sad violin music or something like that. Because now after I've written them out, I'm like, man, it sounds like such a whiner. But that's okay. My little inner whiner came out this week. So anyway, so yeah, so my codependency attitude came out through a few things. Like, when I would tell myself like nobody loves me enough to change, I was telling one of my girlfriends last night on the phone, I'm basically an orphan. Um, you know, uh, Gosh, just one I struggle with. The world must think something is wrong with me because I've divorced my family. Oh, and I hate this one too. If I had a partner, the situation would be easier. I'd feel better. Um, and then also too, I must not actually be lovable because of all this rejection. Like, I mean, I'm sure you make those statements too to yourself at times and all of that. And those are just kind of little, I think, little things that are like little cues of like, hey, you're getting a little codependent, and because they're all lies. They're all lies, you know. And like I said, they're lies that are hurting me, and they're also hurting the people that I do love, and the people that are quote disappointing me and stuff like that, so, or the people that I'm just whining to, it's not fun to hear that kind of stuff, yeah. So, yeah, so because what I'm really suffering from, yeah, because what I'm really suffering from in these moments is just a disconnection from myself. I mean, that's ultimately what it is. The fact that if I'm this needy of people to make me feel whole, the problem isn't those people, the problem is me. And that I'm not doing the work I need to really connect with myself. Because I'm not happy with me then. That's really what it's all about. And I mean, isn't that really the absolutely biggest issue with our own mothers? The fact that they are so unhappy with themselves, the fact that they are so not comfortable with themselves. And so the way that they manifest, their behaviors, to try to reach out and get love from other people and stuff, that is completely because, they do not feel like they can be happy with themselves. And because of that emotional illness that they have that's going untreated, it is almost absolutely impossible for them to be happy with themselves. And so, anyway, yeah, so I'm going to do a second video because this is going to get long, to talk about kind of the next part of this, that I think people fill roles and not holes in our lives. So yeah, thanks.